B.o.B versus Neil deGrasse Tyson. This is probably the weirdest feud you've ever heard of, because it was all about the shape of the Earth. In 2016, B.o.B took to Twitter and posted a bunch of tweets claiming the Earth was flat. He even posted photos city skylines taken from miles away and called out NASA, saying they employed people to guard the edge of the world to prevent people falling off. In his argument, he said that if the world was truly round, it would be obvious when looking at the horizon, and that cities in the distance would not be visible as they would be obscured by the Earth's curvature. Things became really heated up as he called anyone who opposed him sheeps and indoctrinated. That's when Neil deGrasse Tyson, the world-famous astrophysicist, joined the conversation. He responded with science and even a little shade. He told B.o.B to listen to real evidence and stop confusing his followers. But B.o.B wasn't backing down. A few days later, he dropped a diss track called Flatline, where he not only doubled down on the flat Earth stuff, but also called out Neil directly. Though Neil never responded, his nephew responded with his own diss track titled Flat to Fact. A few days later, he launched a GoFundMe campaign, hoping to raise $200,000 to launch satellites and prove the Earth is flat, but ended up raising just $650. Kanye West versus Jimmy Kimmel. This feud started with a joke, but Kanye didn't find it funny. In 2013, Jimmy Kimmel decided to spoof Kanye's interview with the BBC, where he talked about creativity, fashion, being misunderstood, and compared himself to Steve Jobs, saying he was a genius. Kimmel later aired a sketch where a child actor reenacted Kanye's quotes word for word, but in a silly voice and over-the-top tone.
If I see something, if I see opportunity, I'm gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? We're all gonna die one day. Yeah, that's true. I'm a prime person. Not just clothing, but water bottle design, architecture, everything you can think about. Brought the leather Jordan pants 6 years ago to Fendi, and they said no.
The joke landed with most people, but not with Kanye. He went straight to Twitter and unleashed a full-on rant. He fired off several tweets aimed directly at Kimmel, including one where he told him, "Jimmy Kimmel, put yourself in my shoes. Oh no, that means you would have gotten too much good pussy in your life." But the thing is, Kimmel actually wanted all of it. He said he had also wanted to be in a rap feud, and now he's got one. A few days later, Kanye appeared on Kimmel's show to talk things out face to face. Early in the interview, Kimmel mentioned that he knows Kanye personally and has always found him friendly, just often misunderstood. In the end, it was never really a heated beef, just one of those random headline-grabbing moments where ego and humor collide. Ludacris versus Bill O'Reilly. In 2002, Ludacris landed a huge endorsement deal with Pepsi.
You got lost again? We in the wrong place, man. You can't throw a hot party out here.
Ugh, how you liking that? I know the party's inside, ain't no hiding that. People want their title back. Let's get it right, call your crew, get the Pepsi, and I'm about to grab the mic, but it's...
Let's bounce, ain't nothing going on down here.
The taste got them wild and it's driving me insane.
Oh man, it's all your fault, man.
How you think it's my fault? You driving?
And there ain't no girls within miles ahead.
You know how we do.
But O'Reilly was enraged by Pepsi's decision, urging his viewers to boycott the soda company if they didn't take down the ads and end the deal with Ludacris. On his show, he slammed Pepsi for working with Ludacris. His argument was that his music was full of violence, drug use, and disrespect toward women. He told viewers to boycott Pepsi until they dropped him, and it worked. Days later, Pepsi pulled the plug on Ludacris's deal, citing consumer complaints about his profane and violent lyrics. Luda later fired back through interviews and his music, calling out the double standard, how certain people in power were quick to criticize hip-hop while ignoring real issues in society. He later used the moment as fuel, turning the controversy into motivation. A few years later, Pepsi ended up sponsoring a tour featuring Ludacris and even donated money to his charity foundation. As for the beef, Luda claimed he had squashed it with O'Reilly. He said in an interview with The Breakfast Club, "I ran up on him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The crazy thing is, it's not my place to judge Bill O'Reilly the same way that he judged me. That's how I feel about it. It's a lot of maturity and a lot of growth." By the way, if you guys like hip-hop content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Anyway, 50 Cent versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. 50 and Floyd used to be friends and business partners back then. But then it all went sideways in 2012 when Floyd did a short jail stint for a misdemeanor domestic battery charge, and while he was away, 50 was reportedly running the Money Team promotions, and later said he was owed more than $2 million for that period. That dispute is what really lit the fuse between them and turned a private problem into a public feud. The whole thing got ridiculous quick. 50 publicly taunted Floyd with a social media stunt, saying Floyd couldn't read and offering $750,000 to a charity if Floyd would read a page from a Harry Potter book.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. Fuck the bucket of ice, man.
That clip blew up and made it look like this beef was about pride and humiliation as much as money. Floyd answered back with personal jabs of his own. He went after 50's parenting, allegedly offered $1 million if 50 could record his son saying he loved him, and even threw out a nasty claim about 50 having herpes. None of this was subtle. It was two grown men airing ugly stuff in public, and it got mean fast. Looking back, both sides have since admitted some regret, and ultimately 50 said in 2022 that they buried the hatchet after meeting up in Las Vegas and hashing things out. 50 Cent versus Randall Emmett. In April of 2019, 50 Cent turned Instagram into his personal courtroom when he went after Hollywood producer Randall Emmett over a debt. According to 50, Randall owed him $1 million from a past business deal. What started as a private money dispute quickly became a public spectacle. 50 began posting screenshots of text messages between him and Randall. In the messages, Randall repeatedly called him Fofty instead of 50, a typo many believed was born out of panic, and it instantly went viral. Randall begged for more time, saying he was having heart issues from the stress. But 50 wasn't showing mercy. He gave Randall a public deadline. "You got until Monday, Randall. I want my money by Monday." The story took another turn when 50 dragged Randall's then-fiancée, reality star Lala Kent, into the mix. He reposted clips from Vanderpump Rules where Lala bragged about how Randall gave her luxury gifts after their first night together. 50 used it to taunt Randall even more, turning the feud into a mix of personal jabs and financial shaming. By the time Monday came around, Randall reportedly paid up. 50 declared the matter settled on Instagram, posting a photo with the caption, "I got my money, I'm done talking about it." But the damage was already done. The feud had humiliated Randall in front of millions, turned Fofty into a permanent internet meme, and reminded everyone that when 50 Cent wants something, he'll get it, and make it entertaining in the process. T.I. versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. This feud started with an Instagram post. On May 5, 2014, T.I.'s wife, Tiny Coddle, posted a photo of herself with Mayweather and captioned it, "You already know." There's nothing like being surrounded by the best ever champion shit. What seemed like a casual photo would later turn into one of the most confrontational feuds in hip-hop history. When interviewed by celebrity blogger Nicole Bitchie, Mayweather claimed he has never slept with her, never kissed her, and never touched her in any inappropriate way. He also shared that T.I. had already approached him about the photo once before, but things didn't get physical during that first talk. That same weekend, Coddle posted another photo of her with Mayweather's 14-year-old daughter, Iyanna, in Las Vegas, with the caption, "Had to come, celebrate with my new boo, happy birthday." Their first physical altercation happened the next morning at a burger joint where a brawl broke out between T.I. and Mayweather. During the clash, T.I. told him, "You do it in the ring, I do it in the streets." And Floyd fired back, "I do it everywhere." There were punches, a chair might have been thrown, and the whole restaurant turned into a war zone for a moment. But it all died down after the bodyguards of both celebrities broke up the fight before the police arrived. Tiny later admitted that she only hung out with Floyd to make T.I. mad, though the exact reason behind their issues remains unknown to this day. Kanye West versus Pete Davidson. In late 2021, Kanye West's already public divorce from Kim Kardashian took an even messier turn when rumors began circulating that Kim was dating comedian Pete Davidson. By November, the two were spotted together, and the internet exploded. At first, Kanye tried to win Kim back publicly. He made grand gestures at concerts, dedicated songs to her, and even begged for reconciliation during live performances. But when it became clear that Kim and Pete were serious, Kanye's tone shifted. He began taking direct shots at Pete, whom he mockingly nicknamed Skeet on Instagram. Things escalated in February 2022 when Kanye released the music video for Easy. In it, a claymation version of Kanye kidnaps and buries a figure that looks eerily like Pete. The video sparked outrage, with critics calling it harassment, while Kanye's supporters argued it was just art. Pete stayed mostly silent, but leaked text messages later revealed that he had reached out to Kanye, telling him he was in bed with your wife and urging him to stop the online attacks. The feud spilled into the public in real time. Instagram posts, deleted captions, diss tracks, and headlines almost every week. Kanye accused Pete of disrespecting his family and mocked his mental health struggles, while Pete was photographed spending more time with Kim and even getting tattoos dedicated to her and her kids. By August 2022, Kim and Pete's relationship ended, but the damage was already done. The Kanye-Pete saga had become one of the most high-profile celebrity feuds of the decade, blending heartbreak, ego, and social media warfare into a drama that millions couldn't stop watching. Skillz versus Shaquille O'Neal. This beef started when Shaquille O'Neal linked up with DJ Sycamore and dropped a track called "Drop Another Day." On it, he openly dissed NBA stars Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. But then, for reasons nobody quite understood at the time, he took aim at Skillz but without name-dropping him. "I don't care how mad your Skillz is. You can't serve me. You're the fourth best from Virginia. I don't fuck with scrubs either." When Skillz heard it, he realized the hit was aimed at him. And here's the part that still makes him laugh. He couldn't figure out why Shaq would come after him in the first place. His best guess? Maybe Shaq was trying to defend Kobe Bryant. You see, earlier that year, Skillz had dropped his underground track The Wrap Up 2004, where he called Kobe's sexual assault case the dummy move of the year, and even flipped a 50 Cent line into, "Damn, Kobe. In high school, you was the man, Kobe." He never mentioned Shaq, but figured maybe Shaq, still teammates with Kobe at the time, decided to take it personally. By July, Skillz had had enough. He hit the studio with DJ P. Cutta and DJ Woe to create a full CD aimed at Shaq called On 99 Free Throws. His flip of Jay-Z's 99 Problems, Skillz mocked Shaq's infamous free throw woes. 99 free throws and you won't hit one. When you at the foul line, I feel bad for you, son. And on his version of 50 Cent's Back Down, he went straight for the Lakers dynasty. The Lakers dynasty, that's over. That goes for you, Peyton, Malone, and Kobe. Shaq eventually fired back on Vlad's Hot in Here Part 5 mixtape with a track called You Not the Fightin' Type, rapping over Eminem's Say What You Say. He took shots at Skillz, Kobe, and Ben Wallace, calling Ben Spiderweb Head and clowning the interview Skillz had used. The irony? This was the same Shaq who supposedly started the whole thing by defending Kobe, now turning around and dissing him too. In the end, the feud was more hilarious than it was serious. Two very different worlds colliding over an insult that may have been sparked by just boredom. Kanye West versus George W. Bush. This one started during one of the most emotional moments in recent American history. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans and other parts of the Gulf Coast. The images on TV were shocking. Flooded streets, families stranded on rooftops, people begging for help. The government's response was heavily criticized for being too slow, and emotions were already running high. That's when Kanye West, still early in his superstardom, went on live TV for a benefit telethon. Standing next to comedian Mike Myers, Kanye went off script. He spoke about how the media portrayed black people during the disaster, saying they were called looters, while white people doing the same thing were described as looking for food. Then he dropped the line that would follow him for years. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know, it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
While the camera cut away immediately, the damage was done. Those 7 words were heard in every corner of the world. For a lot of people, Kanye had said what they were thinking. For others, it felt like he crossed a line, turning a humanitarian event into a political attack. George W. Bush later said in his memoir that Kanye's words were one of the worst moments of his presidency, not because of the criticism itself, but because of the accusation about his character.
About a week after the storm hit, NBC aired a telethon.
Yes.
Asking for help for the victims of Katrina. We had celebrities coming in to ask for money, and I remember it vividly because I hosted it. And at one part of the evening, I introduced Kanye West. Were you watching?
Nope.
You remember what he said?
Yes, I do. Call me a racist.
Well, what he said was, George Bush doesn't care about black people.
That's because he's a racist.
You say you told Laura at the time it was the worst moment of your presidency.
Yes.
Kanye stood by his comments for years, though in 2010 he admitted he never meant to paint Bush as a racist, saying it came from frustration over the government's slow response. It was never really a traditional back-and-forth beef, but it became one of the most famous celebrity versus president moments in history. Mike Tyson versus LL Cool J. Mike Tyson and LL Cool J were actually friends in the 90s, back when Tyson was one of the most feared boxers alive and LL was dominating the rap game. But the two would eventually get pulled into one of the strangest intersections of hip-hop and boxing beef. And the crazy part is, it wasn't even really about them. It all started with a young rapper named Cannabis. In 1997, LL invited him to be on his track, 4321. During the recording, Cannabis dropped a line referencing LL's famous microphone tattoo, saying, "L, is that a mic on your arm? Let me borrow that." Sounds harmless now, but LL took it as disrespect for reasons I can't even tell. When the song came out, LL's verse included subliminal shots back at Cannabis. Cannabis didn't take that lightly. He fired back with a full-blown diss track called Second Round KO. And here's where Mike Tyson comes in. Not only did Tyson appear in the music video, but he also recorded the intro to the track.
Hey, Mike Tyson here speaking with the Cannabis man over here. Yo, Cannabis, your main objective out here is to do nothing but eat MCs for lunch.
This made it look like Tyson had picked a side in the feud, even though he and LL were cool before all this. LL responded with his own track, The Ripper Strikes Back, where he went after Cannabis directly, but also threw jabs at Tyson, bringing up his criminal past and time in prison. The beef between LL and Cannabis fizzled out over time, and Tyson never really escalated things himself. Years later, the two would reunite on Tyson's Hotboxing podcast, laughing and reminiscing about the situation.